Hey, comic book fans, Ravi from Zanzi Comic Club here. And yeah, just you can see my hair's all messed up and all over the place at the moment. I'm trying like a little bit of a Jared Leto thing going on here. But, anyways, that aside, the reason why I'm a little bit distorted and a little bit weary and tired, I just woke up to the news of the release of Bray Wyatt. WWE has decided that they're going to release Bray Wyatt, and wow, he's the last guy on this good old green earth that I thought Vince McMahon would ever release from the current roster. And apparently, the main reason why they released him, and I think this came from John Laurinaitis, the talent director or the executive vice president of talent relations, I think that's his title as far as I understand it, was that it came down to cost, it came down to budget, which makes sense. I mean, if you want to be a sustainable business, it makes sense to have your costs to a minimum, and the first sort of cost that's normally looked at when it comes to making a business optimal is definitely the human resources side of things. But that's besides the point. Bray Wyatt has been by far one of the most value-adding superstars that WWE has ever brought into the spotlight, especially in the last, I think his tenure with the company has been about 12 years. And I'm just absolutely shocked that they would do this. Very recently they released Braun Strowman. But I think that's the problem with the big men in the wrestling industry. They don't have a very long lifespan in some cases when it comes to wrestling, and you can't really keep them as champions for very long. Even the Big Show side to that. But Bray Wyatt was slightly different because I think he helped revolutionize the whole stable situation. Because WWE had some crazy stables in the last, like in the 2000s, the early 2000s, late 2000s. And I felt that the Wyatt family and the Shield sort of rejuvenated the whole stable concept, and they put value back into it. And the fact that the Wyatt family comprised of Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and the other Luke Harper. I mean, it was incredible, and I just feel that Bray Wyatt was by far one of the most energized, or one of those crazy characters. I mean, he really bought into the concept. He brought it to life, the Wyatt family. He brought that concept to life, and he did it so well. And then, that sort of soured a bit. I know he had a stint with Randy Orton, a bit of a feud, and then they had a partnership, then the feud again. Then he had the Deleter of Worlds thing with Matt Hardy, which was just okay, I guess. I mean, that was fine. I mean, that had some legs on it. But what was really cool was the whole revolutionizing of the Fiend. The introduction of the Fiend concept, I thought, was absolutely brilliant. It was spot on. It was on the money. I think that potentially that could have fulfilled a void when the Undertaker decided to call it a day when it came to WWE, came to wrestling. And the Fiend could have effectively been that guy, that enigma that a wrestler would have to fight once a year type of thing in the grandest of affairs, the WrestleMania. And wow, I'm just so shocked there because I was so excited about the Fiend character. The Firefly Funhouse, was a bit of a joke at first, and I was like, good Lord, what are these people trying to do? And wow, the Fiend that came out of it, it was incredible. Bray Wyatt, even from a physical point of view, you could see he dropped a significant number of pounds. And you could see it became a little bit more physical, a little bit more energetic, a little bit more muscular, which is great to see. He clearly looked after himself, certainly beyond the days of his Husky Harris persona. But I really was hoping to see something magical here. And they had some feuds which never really took off. And I was excited about the Seth Rollins, the Fiend feud, but I didn't see much of it. You know, like I remember that Hell in the Cell match where he just stockpiled a whole lot of steel chairs and objects on him, and then hit the steel chair on top of it, and then the ref had to say, no, we have to suspend the match now. But I mean, you're in the Hell in the Cell. What the hell? Doesn't make sense, you know. Why would you suspend the match if you're in Hell in the Cell? But anyways, so short end of it, 3-time WWE champ, 1-time Universal champ Bray Wyatt, unfortunately was released by WWE, largely centered around cost management of budgets, if you will. And I guess Mr. Wyatt is going to go straight to AEW. Potentially he could go to New Japan, but I'm willing to bet that it's AEW all the way. I reckon it's AEW, definitely, without question. Sorry, that was my mother-in-law in the corner. Possibly a Bray Wyatt fan, I don't know. I never really had that conversation with them. What do you think, sports fans? I know that we generally cover comic books and we cover various types of comic art, movies and what have you, but wrestling is part of the pop culture sort of business model we try to follow here at Mzansi Comic Club. What do you guys think, wrestling fans particularly, about Bray Wyatt leaving the WWE? I, for one, am gutted about it. I don't know what they're going to do next. Some bizarre times. Sound off your comments below, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Have a great weekend. This is Ravi from Mzansi Comic Club.